I was told it was just a food preference when I warned my son's teacher about his deadly allergy. Yesterday, she tried to prove me wrong with a cookie. Now she's been fired and half the parents at school are calling me dramatic. My 6-year-old son Ethan has a severe anaphylactic allergy to tree nuts. We discovered it when he was 2 and went into shock after trying a bite of his cousin's peanut butter sandwich. Since then our lives have revolved around EpiPens, ingredient labels, and teaching him to never ever accept food from anyone but us. When Ethan started first grade this year, I scheduled a meeting with his teacher, Miss Winters, to explain the severity of his allergy. I brought his medical records, action plan from his allergist, and extra EpiPens for the classroom. Miss Winters seemed attentive, taking notes and asking questions. I felt relieved. A week later, I received an email about an upcoming class birthday celebration. The parent was bringing in homemade cookies. I replied asking if they could please be nut-free or if I could send an alternative treat for Ethan. Miss Winters responded, "I think you are being overprotective. Children need exposure to different foods to build immunity. These food preferences are becoming too common." I was stunned. I immediately forwarded the email to the principal and requested another meeting with both of them. During that meeting, Miss Winters claimed she'd done research and found that many parents exaggerate food allergies. The principal seemed uncomfortable but reminded Miss Winters that the school's policy was to take all medical conditions seriously. I thought we'd resolved it. The principal assured me Ethan would be protected. I even volunteered to be a room parent so I could help with class parties and keep an eye on things. Yesterday was another student's birthday. I'd sent Ethan with his special safe snack box as usual. I was working from home when my phone rang at 11:32 a.m. It was the school nurse, Mrs. Collins. "We've administered Ethan's EpiPen and an ambulance is on the way." I've never driven so fast in my life. By the time I reached the school, Ethan was already in the ambulance. His little face was swollen, hives covering his neck and arms. He was struggling to breathe despite the epinephrine. At the hospital, between treatments and tests, Ethan told me what happened. Miss Winters had pulled him aside during the celebration and shown him a chocolate chip cookie. "She said it was special for me," he whispered. "She said it would prove to Bakishas that I wasn't allergic and wouldn't have to miss out anymore." The cookie contained almond flour. After Ethan stabilized, the principal came to the hospital. He was ashen-faced and apologetic. Security footage from the classroom had captured the entire interaction. Miss Winters had deliberately given Ethan the cookie, watched him eat it, and then delayed calling for help when he first complained of his throat feeling spicy, pert, in a description he's used before when experiencing the first signs of anaphylaxis. Miss Winters was fired immediately. The school district is launching a full investigation, and my husband and I are meeting with our lawyer tomorrow. But somehow I'd become the villain in this story. Half the parents from Ethan's class are in a private Facebook group claiming I am ruining a teacher's career over a misunderstanding. They're saying I've traumatized their children who loved Miss Winters and don't understand why she's gone. One mother even messaged me directly, "Kids have been bringing PB&J to school for generations. Why should everyone suffer because your son has special needs?" I don't care about these parents or their opinions. What keeps me up at night is knowing how close I came to losing my son because an educated professional decided she knew better than medical doctors. Ethan hasn't spoken much since coming home from the hospital. This morning he asked if he could be homeschooled. When I asked why, he said, "Because Miss Winters said I was lying about being sick to get attention." I'm holding my sleeping son as I type this with one hand. The hospital bracelet is still on his wrist. I don't know how to make him feel safe at school again. What terrifies me most isn't just what happened to Port, it's how many people still don't believe it was serious.